Hey guys, just before we get into this episode, go and check out the Boot Dealer Australia for amazing boots. Whether you play soccer, football, you'll definitely find something you like on there. I'll link the Instagram and website down below. Go and check them out. Alright, what's going on everyone? Athlete's Mind here, back again with the Sunday weekly uploads. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, go and check them out. Follow the socials. This will also be out on Spotify, so if you want to go listen to it on there, I'll link it all in the description. Today, I'm pumped for this episode. We have Josh Carbone on the podcast, so thank you for coming on.
Welcome.
So he's a fighter, Muay Thai fighter, more specific, but yeah, some of you might know or not, but like I used to do boxing, so fighting's like a big part of like my life, and I thought it'd be great to get you on. So yeah, thank you once again.
Good to be here.
Yeah, mate. So I'm just gonna start off. How did you get into fighting? You know, like what drove your passion for it?
Well, I used to start off with soccer all my life growing up.
Yep.
And then in the trials, I fractured my arm, so I was just out for a whole season.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be lazy and stay home, so my cousin's doing Muay Thai, so I was like, I'll try it.
Mm-hmm.
Tried it for a day, a week, a month. I was like, nah, I love this sport. Kept doing it for a year. Had my first fight. I'm like, nah, this is my life. This is what I want. And then back in the day, I used to get teased, bullied and stuff. I was like, this is what, it's going to get my anger out. It's going to get my mind off stuff. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much like past experiences, past trauma, and just the overall perspective of the sport. Just love it.
Yeah, because that was a bit like me, like going into boxing. I wouldn't say I was bullied, but like, I don't know, it was just more of a confidence thing, I think. Because like going into boxing, I wasn't confident at all. Would you say the same like with you? You just like weren't that confident before? Yeah. And then after boxing, I've just become like more confident sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's great. Especially like, yeah, because I know a lot of people have been like bullied, teased and go through fighting. It's really, really good. It helps. I think it helps.
It was a lot of confidence because my confidence like here,
Yeah.
self-esteem was lower.
Yeah.
And then starting to build muscle mentally as well, stronger physically as well. Just I can walk around a bit of confidence on me, which is helps me a lot to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I rate that. So you recently had a fight, didn't you? So you actually won that, didn't you?
Yeah, split decision.
Yeah, damn. So what was the opponent like? Was he like taller than you, bigger than you?
Yeah,
Or?
so obviously fighting is based on weight.
Yep.
So I was weighing at 49, he weighed at 50.
Yep.
Which doesn't really matter, but he was tall and lanky, so my aim was target that leg, because when he targeted the leg, he'll hurt, guard will drop.
Yeah.
And then just laying to him in the head and the body.
Yeah.
Then I just go away with win by split decision, which
yeah.
proud.
I'll chuck that clip on, the one that I saw that you sent to me where you like kicked him on the leg. That was good. It was a good kick. I rate it. But yeah, good on you. So obviously you've just had a fight. So how do you like mentally prepare for fights? Is there anything you do? Because obviously it's nerve wracking going into a fight. So like, is there anything you do?
It's just every fight is pre-fight anxiety. Like every single fight. So you like start to breathe heavily, fast, overthink what's gonna happen. But it's literally, if your mind is at peace, your body will be at peace. So control your breathing. But the main key is that with the pre-fight anxiety, don't force it to stop. Just let it run its course. Force it to stop, you overthink more. Just relax, let it go of course, and yeah, you'll be fine. But other than that, it's just all the thoughts go in your head. Like, if I get knocked out, what if I knock him out? Points, judges, all that. It's just, you just have to perform. And
just go and do your thing. That's like all you can do.
And as I live by, you train like you never won. And you fight like you never lost. So.
That's a very good way to think about things. Would you say like you were more nervous for your first fight, and like as you've progressed, it's like you've gotten used to it, or is it still the same sort of?
On my first fight, that was probably one of my most pre-fight anxiety. Like, it was bad, but then because he was obviously taller, because my opponents obviously were taller.
Yeah.
But I actually got away with the win by TKO.
Jeez.
Kicked him.
That would have been a great feeling.
Yeah, it was a great feeling, and then obviously I kept training harder, I kept training more, and then it's just, it has helped over time. Like,
because you get used to it a little
on
bit.
my second fight, it was a bit low. On my third fight, I didn't really have anything.
Yeah.
And then the fight just had a little bit, because obviously I over-exaggerate my opponent, so I see him, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I mean, I've never fought competitively, but I remember when I had my first spar, I was so nervous, because like the guy that I got put up against, a bit like he was a bit tall, he was pretty tall guy. I'm like average height, like maybe a bit above average. He was very tall. and I was just like, everything my coach told me just went out my head. I just started just fighting on instinct, which is just not a good way to go about things, because like you want to fight technically and listen to your coach, but yeah, I mean, fighting competitively would be a different type of nervous, I reckon.
Yeah, it's different to sparring, because sparring, you know the person you're sparring, you know what they're capable of, you know their technical abilities.
Yeah.
But going against someone that you've never seen in your life, or never
You don't know what
seen
to
spar,
expect.
You don't know what to expect. They could be aggressive, they could have a good guard, they could be fast, technical, fit. You don't know. So you have to train to master all those abilities in case.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, I just mentioned coaching. Like, how important do you think it is to have a coach-to-student relationship? Right.
I would say it's very important, because a coach is the person who guides you, who spots the tiny things that you don't spot. They work on you more, focus on you more, and it's just important because your coach has got that experience, that fighting experience professionally as well. Yeah. So they know what to expect. They know what the other coach is thinking as well. So it's important to just listen and observe what your coach is doing and saying. Yeah. Because having that strong bond with your coach can just be the key to everything. Yeah,
it's very important to have a strong bond, because I've had heaps of coaches. I've been in multiple gyms. My main one, shout out Premier Boxing Club, was Richard. He's actually, do you know Ring Sport?
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns Ring Sport, and he trained me for about a year, I think, or 8 months to a year. He was a phenomenal coach because he's had a lot of experience, and that bond that we had just helped me develop. Yeah. And then I had Phil Crawley. He was also a coach there. He coached me for a few months as well. He's a great coach as well. So having a coach to student relationship is important, because you're not going to get anywhere if you just have some guy not knowing what he's talking about, obviously. Obviously, how long have you been doing fighting now for?
Almost close to 2 years. So 2 years. Not very long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you've had 4 fights in 2 years. That's actually pretty impressive.
I was at least 2 soccer then.
Who'd you play for?
Well, we started off at Perth.
Yep.
Then went to Bayswater.
Oh, okay.
And then back to Perth. And then after that season at Perth, then the next trial was a fracture my arm.
Yeah, and then you went to fighting.
Only 2 clubs. I didn't change that much.
Yeah,
those clubs.
I used to play soccer. I played at Floriat and Wembley Downs when I was little, but yeah. Who would you say you model yourself after, whether it's, any pros, anyone in your gym,
Well, I'm not sure if you know this guy, but he's a Thai. He's been training Muay Thai for ages. His name is Rod Tang. He's Iron Man. He just moves forward. He's always a shorter opponent sometimes. He always moves forward, strong neck, strong jaw, technical ability, just amazing to watch him. He's what I want to be. He's former fighter, as a fighter.
That's how you want to be.
That's how I want to be. And then if you're going along the MMA side, boxing side, even though Conor McGregor's he's got a bit of arrogance,
you like Conor McGregor.
He's still a class fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
His technical shots and all that just amaze me. But the overall model I look up to are my 2 cousins who got me involved in Muay Thai. Because in and out of the gym, they give me tips, they condition me, they just show me new tricks and skills to use. Yeah. And they're just so supportive of me that I just always look up to them. Yeah,
that's very good to have in being family. And you have them to thank because they got you into it, so that's good. I mean, for me it'd probably be, because I didn't do Muay Thai, I just did boxing obviously. It'd probably be Ryan Garcia, and I know he gets a bit of hate because he's a bit of a social media, all that stuff, social media boxer, but I see a bit of myself in him, because when I first started boxing, I started posting it, videos of me hitting the bag, and I copped so much shit at school.
I don't understand what people hate on that for. Because you got people who make those TikTok accounts that are aimed at school students that they just sit on their ass and do nothing.
Literally.
When you're standing up and making a difference in your body, physically and mentally.
Yeah, you're putting in the work, and I started posting all these videos, and I'll admit, I wasn't good when I started, obviously, as a beginner. I go to school, everyone's laughing at me. I had one guy say, "Mate, what are you doing? You're going to get your head knocked in." I remember he said that to me, and I was like, I don't really know how to handle it. Yeah. And that's why I sort of looked up to Ryan Garcia, because I see him copying all this stuff, but he just kept going. So I was like, I'm just going to keep going. So that's why I look up to him. But on ground level would probably be my coach, Richard, that I mentioned before. Because he said something to me that stuck with me to this day. He coached this champion boxer that had, I think, nearly 100 amateur fights, which is crazy. And he said to me, he's like, "Mate, you remind me of him." And that I was like, wow, because to hear that from your coach, that you remind him of someone that was a great fighter, that like that was like self-belief, like I can do this, I can go somewhere with this, you know.
Yeah.
So that goes back to the coaching thing, how important it is.
Yeah. Any sport you do, you're gonna get hate for it. It's just you use that hate as your adrenaline, as your drive to reach your goal. You just want to prove them wrong. Like I've had people say, "Oh, imagine being short. You know, or you're gonna get your head knocked in with one punch, or you're too short step in the ring." Yeah, I might be too short step in the ring, but I've got more determination than you.
Yeah, you're getting in the ring.
Yeah, I've got better goals than you probably not because everyone has different goals, but I'm working towards my goal quicker. I don't sit on my ass and hate people for trying to reach their goal.
Literally.
But if you're gonna get hate for it, it's just I just want to. The amount of hate I've gotten over my life, I just want to get my goals and prove they're wrong. Yeah,
that's such a good way of motivation.
Because I want the flex as the people that have hated on me, that they have once talked to me and hated on me. Yeah. And they want to. I obviously want to be famous.
Yeah.
A professional fighter. And I want them to look at TV and be like, I once knew him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really. I don't know, it's just how I want to look at things.
That's a bit like me, because I imagine like someone who hated on you saying, damn, he made it, like he actually did it. It's just like, yeah, mate, you talk shit about me, well look at me now, sort of thing.
And just having a title belt around my waist is just, my ultimate goal.
Yeah, it's just the vision.
I just want a title around my waist, that's my number one goal at the moment.
Yeah, mate, if you stick at it, man, like anything is possible, like literally.
Because even though I'm short, I can take a lot of violence, like in the gym, I was sparring against one of the best fighters in our gym. Yeah. Going full power, and I don't know, back down. I cop sternum shots, liver shots, rib kicks, anything. I just stand my ground.
Keep going. Forward. Keep going.
It's just even though I'm short, I can take a lot of violence, which is just what helps me as well, because I'm pretty well conditioned.
Yeah, and that's good. I want to talk just a little bit into the technical side. What would you say is like your strength in fighting?
There's a lot of strengths in fighting. You got like speed, you got power, you got fitness, stamina. But for me, I reckon, even though I'm short, I reckon mine will be speed, because you come across against a bigger fighter, they may miss one big power shot, and in that one big power shot, it'll take them longer to move the arm back, and you can cop in like one chop or two body hits.
Yeah, like a bit of a combo.
Power as well.
Yeah.
And then in the ring as well, you can tell when they're struggling because they're bigger. Like my opponent was taller, and I could tell when he was punching, he was dragging shots down. And I was like, oh, he's dragging shots down. When he grabs it down, hook him fast. Yeah. That way it'll be quicker, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess.
And moving around the ring as well, it's just good to be like that. Because when you move around the ring, you can take a breath in, keep your stamina up. But having speed in a fight is probably a key. Like, you look at boxers' hands. Like, the combos they do are so quick. If you blink, you'll miss it.
Literally.
That's why speed is the key, because the faster your shots are, your opponent can't really see it. And you lay shots in.
Yeah, but mine was probably speed as well, to be honest. It's important to have. I mean, like, looking up to Ryan Garcia, he's considered one of the fastest boxers, fastest hands and all that. But yeah, no, speed is an important one. And also stamina. There was like a time I was sparring this guy, and I'd just come back from injury. I think it was like, what did I do? I think it was my ankle. And I hadn't trained for like 2 months or something. And my fitness was really bad. It was pretty stupid because I went to the gym and first session back I did a spar, like a 3-round full minute spar, whatever. And my fitness was so bad. Like by the last round I was gassed. I was copying so many hits. Yeah. But it's all a learning curve, because like you're like, oh well, I just got to work hard. I just got to get my fitness up. Yes. There's always stuff to work on, even if you have strengths, weaknesses, whatever it is.
Even if you win 10 fights by 10 knockouts, you still need something to improve.
Exactly, yeah.
Like stamina is one of the key things, because you could go into fight that is 5 rounds with 5 minutes. That is 25 minutes of just straight fighting your opponent.
It's tough.
And if you can last at 25 minutes, pretty much you're well. Because you have your strength still, because your stamina, you have your speed, you have just everything else. It's just stamina is one of your keys. That's why before class we skip, run, sprints, etc. You know, just focusing on that speed and power. I say stamina. Yeah.
I get what you mean. Back onto the mental side of things. Obviously, the athlete's mind. Do you ever find yourself like mentally exhausted from training, fighting? And if so, how do you sort of like get through that?
Yeah, well, there are some training sessions where I don't tell my mum, coach, my brother, I just don't tell them, but during training I'm like, I can't keep going. Like in sparring, I get hit in the sternum or liver. Pretty much just shut your oxygen like that. You can hardly breathe.
Liver hurts, man.
And then I'm just like, oh my god, I can't. I'm gonna fall, because when you get hit in the liver, I can fall and just take a breather.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to fall, but then I think in my mind, I'm like, on your next opponent, is he gonna fall in the liver shot?
Yeah.
Then I'm
Exactly.
like, no, I'm not falling. So I continue, and especially after training, I'm so sore.
Yeah.
Back, shoulder, ankle, calves, anywhere. I just have to push through the pain, because all I think about when I'm in pain is like, is my opponent gonna quit if he's in this pain?
Yeah.
And then on the days I can't be bothered training, or I'm sore, I think, is my opponent gonna skip train today?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I think of it.
That's a great way of thinking about things.
Because like,
yeah.
it's just hard, because I'm at home all day. Like if I have a day off school, like because I'm injured, ankle injury,
Yeah.
I'm like, am I gonna go training? And I have like an argument in my mind. I'm like, am I gonna go? And my mind's like, well, if you don't go, your opponent's gonna go.
Yeah.
And he could get in that extra sparring session, extra running, extra skipping in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I have a battle with my mind pretty much every time I don't want to go to training.
Yeah.
Because it's just, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to think like it comes down to who works the hardest,
Yeah.
and that's what gets you to go to the gym. Like you said, what's my opponent doing? You know, if he's putting in more work than me,
Yeah.
then you're not
Like,
doing enough.
Especially in movies, you see the two fighters just fighting at it, and they're both tired. It just, and then whoever wins is just who wants it more.
Literally, yeah.
Like it's for the world championship.
Yeah.
Who wants it more? You or me?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you think is like the biggest life lesson you've learned from fighting?
Biggest life lesson, just don't take advantage of anything. Because if you take, because I'm experienced, I don't take advantage of my experience, because I help out the kids'
Yeah.
classes.
Oh, that's
You
great.
don't smash the kids, you don't do anything, and then on the street, you walk in the shops, you don't take advantage because you know fighting. Like, I think only a couple people know I fight anyway, because I don't tell anyone. If they find out, they find out, but I don't go around being like, yeah, I can smash you in a fight. It's just, you stay cool, don't take advantage of your fighting, because if you do fighting for the wrong reason, you're going to get the wrong reason back.
Yeah.
So if you do fighting because you want to smash people, you're going to get smashed. If you want to do fighting because of self-defense and self-esteem pretty much, you're going to get that back.
Yeah, nah, literally. I mean, obviously, like I said before, when I posted about it, people obviously found out that, oh, yeah, Anthony does boxing and all that. And then when I went to school, whenever there was a little bit of a, like, I wouldn't say fight, but a bit of, like, you know, stuff like that, they'll be like, oh, Anthony, get in there, get in and fight him. I'm like, nah, because it's just like staying humble. You don't want to go around and say, yeah, I'll fight. Like, it's just like egotistical, sort of. And it's sort of interesting because I've never really opened up to anyone about this before, but when I started boxing, I did it for myself because I was like, yeah, I want to try it. And then when I started copying all this hate, it sort of turned into, nah, I want to prove everyone wrong. And that's good in a way, but my mentality was sort of like, nah, I just want to do this because I'm just better than everyone else. Like, I think there's a difference between proving everyone wrong and saying that you're better than everyone else. Because it got to the point where I wasn't going for training for my own reasons. I was just going just to show everyone, like, oh yeah, I'm just better than you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm guilty of that because I remember there was a time after like my second spot, I just came home and I was just like, what the hell am I doing? I'm like, I'm not doing this for myself anymore. And I remember I just like looked in the mirror, like, and it's just like, it sounds like deep stuff, but I remember just looking in the mirror. I'm like, what am I doing? And I was just like reflecting, like, you know, I got to do it for the right reasons. Like you said, you know, you don't want to take advantage of it, obviously, but it's just, yeah, it's just mentally, it's crazy. But
it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Like fighting, because it's not just thinking about one thing. Like, all right, we're sparring, all right, let's spar. It's thinking about, all right, because if he keeps throwing hooks, all right, I'll lean back, come back with a cross. Or if he kicks, I'll check the kick, come back with a kick. It's just non-stop thinking. It's just hard to explain. Like.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah. Has there ever been a time where like you've taken a break from fighting or training, whether it be injury or just like any other reasons?
I think the longest I've gone off not doing Muay Thai is about a week or two. But I only take time off because when I have an injury like a sore ankle, I don't push it because
it's not good for you.
Because if I have a sore ankle and I push it, it could lead to something called like a snap Achilles or something, and that's like 8 to 12 months in recovery. I think so.
Yeah.
But like if I'm injured, I take it easy, or like if I'm sick, I take it easy. Obviously, because the more you push your body, the more it get worse. Like if you have an injury, just relax.
Yeah.
But if you don't have an injury, push your body to its limit.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if you're a gym fanatic, you'll hear the term, oh my god, what's the term? Like
Train till failure?
yeah, train to failure.
train
Like
failure, yeah.
you push to failure,
Mm.
and like that's what you're meant to do for your body.
Yeah.
But if your body's showing signs of weakness, like
Or injury.
injury, ankle sickness, anything, just relax.
Yeah.
Ice, heat, anything.
It's not going to help you. Like, if you have like a, for example, sore shoulder, like a proper injured shoulder,
Yeah.
you go to the gym or start doing shoulder press or something. That's going to mess up your shoulder. Because the reason I'm bringing that up is because I recently had a shoulder injury. I went to the gym and I was doing like some shoulder press and all that, and I couldn't push the weight. And I could have kept going, like push my limits, but in my mind I'm like, nah, because it's just going to make it worse, and I'm just going to be out of training for longer. Because you're probably the same. It just pisses you off when you can't train because of an injury. You just feel helpless. You're just sitting there like, can't do anything. So it's like, but yeah, if it's an injury, don't push it, like you said.
Yeah. And just a lot of stretch and recovery. Like you hear some coaches say, right, after this class, go over and stretch and recover. Like stretch, go on the foam roller, helps your muscles, helps just calm your body down. It's just
you have to do recovery, otherwise
because a part of this sport is that you don't want to take it fast. You don't want to start it a month to be like, right, I'm ready for a fight. Because I waited about 8 months for my first fight, but that's because my coach saw my progression. Like, because me and my mate from the gym, we started at the same time, fought at the same time. We just done everything at the same time. It's just amazing.
That's good to have.
It's just a matter of fact, you don't rush anything. Because if you rush it, more mistakes will be made. And more injuries will occur. It's just take it easy sometimes. Yeah,
so it's just patience really. Because I mean that was something that you mentioned, 8 months till you had your first fight. I was training for 8 months, and I think my coach did mention to me like, oh yeah, you can compete and all that, but I think at the time it wasn't really an excuse. Like I genuinely, that was when I was going into like year 10 or like year 10 exams sort of. And I knew that if I was focusing on school as much as training, I was just like, I wasn't going to be fully focused on my training. And like, I would still like to compete. I mean, probably after this interview with you, I want to get back into boxing, man, because it's been so long. It's just like, I loved fighting. It really helped me like in life. But
and it's a good thing to have. I'm not obviously peer pressuring you to go out on the street and fight, but it's good knowledge to have. Like example, if you go out to dinner, out to clubs or anything, someone tries to start on you, obviously you don't start the fight.
At least you have a form of defense.
Even though street fighting is a form of defense, because it's totally different to Muay Thai. Because Muay Thai is technical, like and traditional, but street fighting just swing. If there's a brick there, they're gonna use the brick, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
But at least you have that knowledge of how to block, how to attack, offense, defense. You know
exactly. I 100% agree with that. Would you agree that like fighting is the loneliest sport in the world?
I would say so, but only to an extent, because on the in the training, you're not alone. You're sparring your mates.
Exactly.
And then you're talking to your coach, but when it comes to going in the ring, even though your coaches are in the corner and the crowd is cheering you on, in the ring it's just you against the person.
Yeah.
Like even though you can listen to your coach, it's just a matter of fact whether you want to listen to your coach or not.
Yeah.
If the coach tells you to do a jab cross, and you just ignore it and get hit with a jab cross, that's not the coach's fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
But there's some, you look at Creed, the movies.
Oh, I love that.
Like he runs alone, trains alone sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just, it can be the loneliest sport in the world.
Yeah.
But to an extent, because you still train with your teammates. But I'm pretty sure when people say that, I'm pretty sure it's where they're referring into the mental side of it.
Yeah.
Because sitting at home thinking about stuff, thinking about training in your mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But being in person, sometimes it can be.
Yeah, I like that you brought up Creed, because I love those. That was actually part of the reason why I got into boxing. They're so good. I think the third one's coming out next year, I think. I don't know. It's coming out. Yeah, man. Because Creed 1 and Creed 2, which one do you reckon's better? 1 or 2?
Honestly, I'd say 2. Because it's more, because look at these training videos like in the desert.
Yeah,
when he's
pushed his limits.
He literally pushed his limits till he threw up.
Yeah, he fell on the ground and he was running behind the car in that scene. Yeah,
it's gonna sound a bit disgusting, but at training I push myself till I throw up.
Yeah, that's.
But to this day, I still haven't thrown up for some reason.
Yeah.
Which probably means I'm either not training hard enough, or it's either I can take the work. But as you and I said, there is always room for improvement. Anyway.
Yeah, always. Even I don't know, example, Floyd Mayweather. Like, obviously he doesn't fight anymore, but even he said when he was approaching his, like, one of his last fights, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
He went 50-0, but there's always, it's like no matter what your record is, there's always, room for improvement. Just before we finish, if you could be any athlete in the world, who would it be and why?
If I could be any athlete?
Yeah, like, it could be past or current, anyone.
Honestly, probably Muhammad Ali.
Damn.
Because even though I'm doing a completely different sport to boxing, just his motivation and how we set our generation's mindset to boxing.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at his nephew, I think it is.
He's fighting at the moment, isn't he?
He's just a machine.
Yeah.
Like, and you can tell he's not relying on the Muhammad Ali name.
Yeah.
He's relying on his own career.
He's trying to make a name for himself. Yeah.
And then if you look at TikTok or something, everyone's wallpapers or something, it's Muhammad Ali. They made a movie about him on Netflix.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, you know what I mean? So he just set a good impact on our generation of boxing.
Yeah.
And the mentality side of it.
Yeah. Would you consider him greatest of all time in boxing?
I'll say so.
Yeah, because that's literally the shirt I got it right now. Yeah. Muhammad Ali, the greatest.
Because even though Mike Tyson's strong, built like a tank, heavy shots like a truck, it's just it's hard to explain. But he hasn't set.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali's just.
Yeah, he hasn't set the motivation that Muhammad Ali has.
Yeah.
Like, even though I like him, good box. It's just Muhammad Ali would always be my go-to guy if I'm ever struggling with combos, struggling with anything else.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, obviously back in his time, what he stood for as well was bigger than boxing. Like, I think, what was it? He went to there was one fight he had and everyone was booing him. And he's like, nah, he said, I like it when I'm booed. He said he likes it.
Honestly, I've never been booed because it's just the family and friends of the fight.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just, if I was to be booed, I wouldn't care because even if you're being booed, that's your adrenaline to
motivation
out to win. That way, what if you win? What are they gonna keep on booing you? Like, if you won.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's one piece, if you have any, what's one piece of advice that you would give to aspiring athletes, fighters, trying to reach their goals?
Just don't give up.
Yeah.
Like, you have days where you want to give up. The training sessions that you'll struggle. Just don't give up, because if you look in the long run, you'll have championships, you have fans, you have a good club, good coaches, everything. Just literally don't give up. And then just remember what I said. On the days off, just remember if your opponent's going to have a day off. Your goal is to beat your opponent. Your goal is to have an undisputed type of record. Goal is to have a good record. Just literally don't give up. Just push through the pain.
So you reckon your goal would be to go pro one day?
100%. Just fight in the ring. Anything, have a world title around my waist, like I don't even care about the money, because the money's just out of it for me. Just having
passion,
having a world championship, having fans, having a good coach, setting my name out there in the world. Just that's my goal. Yeah,
mate. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing where you go. Honestly, I believe in you. I reckon you're going to do great things, whether it's just in life or fighting, either one. Thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed that, because I've actually wanted to interview a fighter for quite some time. Obviously, I've done a lot of footy ones recently, so trying to switch it up to like different athletes and all that. Just before we go, this is actually the last interview in this studio. So yeah, you're the last person I'm interviewing in here, because I'm moving somewhere else. So yeah, I'm gonna make like some more videos. So podcast won't be, but taking a break from the podcast for like a few weeks. So yeah, sorry to everyone for that, but we will be back, so don't worry. Go follow his socials. I'll link it all down below. Show him some love. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode of The Athlete's Mind. Thank you.